Tov, Bezrat Hashem. We're about to study tonight a little bit of history. Why is that? I'm going to explain. We're about to go into the story of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Not many people know their story. It means everybody knows the general story. Avraham and Yitzchak, Akedah. If you ask people, they know, the general story. But it's important to know, where does Avraham come from? His father, his brothers, what happened? How was, there's a story behind this whole thing, right? So through Rashi, everything is through Rashi. We're going to learn a little bit story of Avraham, and then at the end I want to share with you a Rashi, a very important Rashi. Okay? Let's start. Every Seder of Pesach, okay? We start the Seder by saying, Mitechila Ovdei Avodah Zara Ayu Avotem. In the beginning, our forefathers, referring to Avraham Avinu, they were idolaters. They used to serve Avodah Zara. Terach was Oved Avodah Zara, right? And his son also, Avraham Avinu. But Avraham Avinu, on his own, tried to find the truth. He wanted to know the truth, right? So he was starting to look for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed himself to him. So Terach, Terach was Avodah Zara. So we have Terach over here, on the top. Terach has 3 kids, Avraham, Nahor, and Haran. Okay? So those are the brothers of Avraham Avinu. You're going to see soon why is it important to know the brothers of Avraham Avinu. Again, every time you see in the Torah, a name, there's something to learn from it. The Torah would not mention names unless you have something to learn from it. The Torah didn't mention the name, right, of the 3 wives of Shem, Ham, Veyafet, right? Even Noach's wife, she was mentioned the Parachat before Noach. In Bereshit she was mentioned, but she was not mentioned on the Noach, right? Just Rashi says over there, she's the wife of Noach, right? And a lot of ladies are not mentioned. What were the names of the Shevatim wives, right? Reuven, Shimon, Levi. We don't know, right? There is midrashim. You can go get some names. You can go get some names. But why doesn't Torah talk about it? Because we have nothing what to learn from it. Unless something is very important, you're going to learn about it. Interesting Gemara. The Gemara wants to know what's the name of the mother of Avraham Avinu. Okay? So the Gemara says his mother's name, Avraham Avinu, right? Avraham Avinu's mother is Amtelai Bat Karnevo. Comes the Gemara, Amtelai Bat Bat Karnevo.
Amtelai?
כן.
איזה מישהו זה?
That's the name in that time in Iraq. That was used to call it to ladies. לא היו קוראים פרחה וז'קלין wasn't those names. 17.
ולמה לא מזכירים? תמיד האימא.
רגע, אנחנו רק התחלנו את הסטורי.
מה לא מזכירים? היום הילד בא אליך, נכון?
יאללה.
הילד שלך בא אליך.
Again, but if it's not important, the Gemara doesn't mention. So the Gemara is asking a question. Why? The Gemara is asking a question. Why do you want to know the Avraham Avinu's mother when the Torah doesn't mention it? Why is it? The Gemara is asking what's her name. The Gemara gives her name. And the Gemara is asking, right, why is it important for you to know her name? The Torah didn't mention it. Do we know anything about Avraham Avinu's mother? No. Any story? We don't have stories about Avraham Avinu's mother. So why do you want to know the name? Why is it important for you to know the name? The Torah would not mention a name if it's important. Says the Gemara, because the nations of the world at that time, everybody at that time, means 500 years ago, they used to ask, okay, the Jewish nation starts with Avraham Avinu, so let's know his mother's name. Let's know his mother's name. Who is his mother? Right? So they say, Amtelai Bat Karnevo. Interesting enough, the Gemara is teaching us there was another lady called Amtelai, which is the mother of Haman.
Of who?
Haman, Arur Haman, Purim, Arur Haman. לא הלואוין, פורים.
אמתלה היא גם?
אמתלאי.
אז למה במגילה לא רשום
What for?
אשת המן?
What for?
זה שמות בארמית.
So the Gemara says, listen to this. The Gemara says, yes, Amtelai, Aman's mother is Amtelai, but Orevta. Aman. אוקיי. מה זה עורבתה?
עורב.
מה זה עורבתה?
עורב, לא?
Crow.
רייבן.
עורב.
רבן.
לבני עורב אשר יקראו. Crow or raven, whatever you want to call it, right? What's carnivore? O? W. What's carnivore? Dove. Dove. Yonah. Says the Gemara. Yonah is kosher? Yes. Because his mother was kosher lady, came out of her Avraham Avinu. Because his mother was tameh like a crow, came out of her Haman. So if the Gemara is asking questions, if the Torah mentions names, there is something to learn. Ayotze min tahor, tahor. Something comes from something pure, is pure. Something comes out of something impure, is impure. So it's important, but soon we're going to go into deeper a little bit, more deeper. But tonight is going to be a different shiur. Tonight is more a shiur of history. But this history is going to teach us during the whole book of Bereshit. You cannot start speaking about somebody if you don't know who he is, what he did, where he comes from, why, how, you know? Yeah. So let's start. Terach, Oved Avodah Zarah. He had the biggest store of idolatry. Any statue, any size you want, any material, wood, porcelain, gold, silver, any statue, you go to Avraham Avinu or Terach. He had a big store. Everybody comes to the store and they buy it. He has 3 kids: Avraham, Nachor, and Aran. Yafeh. What happened is Avraham.
Who is the oldest? Who is the youngest?
Who is the youngest? Aran.
Haran.
Haran.
And Avraham is the Bechor.
Okay.
הבת is Avram then.
Yes, Avraham then. You want him to erase this?
Yeah. Because רק אחרי ברית בין הבתרים.
Just so you can understand, okay? Just make you. I put the hay in black. Okay?
Oh.
Now listen.
Special for you.
He said, just for you. The 3 kids, okay? Avraham starts to look for the truth. What is the truth? Who's God? What is God doing? Where is he hiding? Can I talk to him? You know, some people, they wake up in the morning, they become spiritual. So they have a lot of questions in their head, right? So they're looking. Some people, they're looking to find themselves. You know, some people wake up in the morning, so one day is a hippie, one day is a rabbi, one day is a this, one day is a man, one day is a woman. He doesn't know, he's looking for himself. Some people are mishugaim. But Avraham was not looking for himself. He was looking for the one who created this world. It's very important to know who created this whole thing. So you have a mishuga coming and saying a theory, it's a big bang. God threw a grenade on earth, big bang explosion, and this
Create the
whole...
world.
Did you ever see somebody throwing a grenade and somebody staying in one piece? Would you be symmetric, have 2 eyes exactly the same place, the mouth is symmetric to the nose, right? Would you be symmetric if there's a bomb create this world? Elama, they took a theory of the Zohar, which is called Shvirat HaKelim. Shvirat HaKelim is like the spiritual rams. God had an explosion, which brought a light into this world. God had to concentrate a certain light. A light is light. You know what's his light? You cannot look. פעם מישהו אמר לרבי יהושע בן לוי, I want to look at God. He says, yeah, I show it to you, come. He says, yeah, you can show me God. Yeah, I can show it to you, come. Takes him outside. He says, look at the sun. You cannot look at the sun. He says, the sun is only a creation of God. If you cannot look at the sun, how are you going to look at God? So when we say God brought a light to this world, the light that was so powerful that you cannot even look at, He brought a small light in this world, and slowly, Vayi or Eretz, Shamayim. So that's called Shvirat HaKelim, the explosion of the vessels. But it doesn't mean explosion, the textual explosion. It means a spiritual explosion. Okay? So comes a Mishuga, and he says this world was created by the Big Bang. Comes another Mishuga, and tells you, you know that your great-great-grandfather was a kof, an ape?
Yeah.
אז אתה כאילו מודרני. You're modern, you know. אבא שלך, your great-grandfather was an ape. He had full of hair. אתה, בן אדם, you look nice, you look good.
מה שאתה צריך להגיד לאנשים כאלה, זה, אבא שלך בא מהקוף, אבא שלי, אלוהים עשה אותו.
That's it. So, you understand, Avraham looked for the truth. His father could have gave him as many idols as he wants, but he wanted to know the truth. Mise, who is this creator? Who built this beautiful world? Okay? So he started to look. Says the Midrash, first day, Mishtachave L'Shemesh. He bows down to the sun. The whole day, Mishtachave, he prays the sun. Comes the night, the sun goes down. He goes to sleep at night, God. It's not a God. So he saw the moon. Oh, the moon. So he starts to bow down to the moon. The next morning, the sun comes up. Okay, not this, not that. He bows down to this. When God saw he's looking for him, so God told him, you know what? I'll make it easier for you. Nice to meet you. My name is God. You Avraham? Okay, I'm willing to introduce myself and to be with you. And then he starts to believe in God. God speaks to him, right? To Nevoah, get a thing, till he decides to take on his road.
How old was Avraham?
Avraham Avinu, there's two versions. The age of 3 or the age of 48. There's two versions.
Wow.
Some say 3.
They say start looking, 48 he found it.
Could be. יכול להיות, כן. אבל there's two opinions in the Midrash. Now, when his father finds out he's religious, מה פתאום? I have a religious son, מה pito? You know, in the kibbutz, one time, one of the boys over there did teshuvah. So he started put kippah, put tzitzit. His father was going crazy. What? Kibbutz? My son is... So he tried to tell him, listen, it's not for you, leave it. It's for the crazy people. Nothing what to do. He becomes stronger. He started tefillim every day. So one day, his friend of the father meets him, and he sees like no smile, no nothing. He's sad. מה קרה לך? יעקב, מה קורה? He says, זה ישאל, בעיות. בעיות? What בעיות you have? What problem? He said, my son did tshuva. I don't know how to deal with that. No, my son, מה קרה? Why do they have to come be religious? It's not for us. We didn't grow like this. אז אמר לו, תשמע, השם יעזור לך. So, a week later, he sees again his friend. The guy's על הפנים. יעקב, מה קרה עכשיו? He says, you cannot believe it. I don't understand. He says, what? Why God doing to me? He says, what? My wife did tshuva with my son. Both of them, they do kiddush, they do Shabbat, they do this. So he told him, Yaakov, I can suggest you better check your mezuzot. Maybe something is wrong. Avraham was looking for the truth. He was looking what's going on. So Hashem told him, okay. Terach does not accept it. לא מקבל את זה. Does not accept it. So he decides what? He decides to take his own son and give him to the king, over to the king Nimrod, to kill his son. So he takes him. And he brings to Nimrod. He says, he starts to believe monotheism. There's only one God. We don't have a statue of this God.
כן? It's a business.
אז הוא אומר לו, נמרוד אומר לו, you believe in God? He says, yeah. He says, God talk to you? He says, yeah. He says, God can save you? Yeah. Okay. Takes a fireplace, puts wood, they say in the Midrash, 7 days, they're just throwing wood. You couldn't even get close half a kilometer from the fire. You had to stay half a kilometer away from the fire. They say to put Avraham inside, they had to shoot him with a slingshot. Because he didn't walk, so they put him on a slingshot and they shot him inside. כל כך היה אש. כן? טוב. אז הוא אומר לו, you sure you believe in God, you don't believe in the... He says, yeah. He throws him in the fire. Gabriel HaMalach wants to come down. Hashem says, stop. You're not going down. He's mine. I'm responsible for him. Hashem הציל אותו. Hashem saved him. Okay? Comes out. Nimrod מסתכל עליו, says, it's impossible. He says, told you God. Says Rashi. So Nimrod is asking Haran, and you believe in who? Says the Rashi. Haran already in his head is saying, 1 second. If Avraham dies, I'm going to tell Nimrod I believe in his God. But if Avraham comes out alive, I'm going to tell Nimrod I believe in the God of Avraham. He's going to save me. But does he really believe in the God of Avraham? No. Nimrod is asking him, who do you believe in? Oh, I believe in the God of Avraham. God of Avraham? Okay. The same way he saved Avraham, let him save you. Zorek oto la'esh, throw him in the fire, got burnt. Because he didn't believe. Okay? Yafeh. Why does Rashi have to bring this? אתה יודע כמה מדרשים יש? You know how many midrash there exist? Do you think Rashi is going to bring every midrash? What do I care about what happened to Haran? Does he say what happened to Nahor? No. Did he ask Nahor the same question? Probably not, because Nahor stayed alive. Nahor? So why does Rashi bring the midrash on Haran? Again, the point is tonight, you will understand that every pasuk in the Torah, every midrash brought by Rashi has a reason of being there. Without this, you cannot know the history of the Jewish people. Look, something that our commentaries tell us. Haran got burnt, he died. He died. Look what's happening. Haran, at that time, had 3 kids. 1 boy, 2 girls. Lot, Milka, Iska. Haran dies, he leaves those 3 kids. What happens? 2 girls. Avraham says, I take Iska as a wife. Nahor says, I take Milka as my wife. Avraham says, I'll take Lot as my son. I take Lot as my son. So Avraham took 1 boy and 1 girl. Nahor took 1 girl. Mise Iska, says Rashi. Iska, Zu Sarah. Why Iska? Her original name is Iska. So if ever somebody, you see? You didn't know that. So if a little kid from Yeshiva is going to ask you, tell me what's the name of Sarah?
שרי.
יפה. וזה לא שרי גם כן, זה עסקה.
אז רגע, עכשיו שאלה לי אליך,
לא קשה.
נתחיל מכאן.
רגע, אתה יודע מדבר אנגלית קצת?
קצת, כן.
בחקי אנגליזי? יאללה.
בסדר.
אנגלית בשביל
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Everything is the midrash. It's not what it says in the Bible. It's people like rabbis, big rabbis. How do we know that what they're saying is actually, it's not the Torah? I mean, like, how do we know that what they're saying
This
is
isn't the
true?
Torah? I'm asking.
And how we connect the young generation? Like if I go to my son and I tell you, say, wait a minute. This is Sarai, I say in the Bible. You tell me that what's written in the Bible is not true?
No, but I'm asking you, this is written in the Torah? עסקה?
No.
I know? Okay.
Show me.
מה הנה, פה.
יאללה.
מלכה בת הרן, אבי מלכה.
יפה.
עסקה.
מראה לך פסוק. מילכה, the daughter of Haran. Haran was אבי מילכה ואבי עסקה.
כאן עבר לאנשים, שם אשת אברהם שרי.
יפה.
שם אשת נחור מילכה.
יפה.
בת הרן.
יפה.
אבי מילכה ואבי עסקה. בסדר.
So if Avraham took עסקה.
רשום שרי.
Sarai. But he told you he took עסקה, which is called Sarai, which changed the name Sarai. You understand? So Sarah had 2 times the change of name.
2 times.
See, 2 times.
ששמו את ההי.
Her name was Iska. When he took her as a wife, she was young. What age was Avraham? אתה יודע? What age they got married? What age Avraham was when he got married to Sarai?
50?
50?
What?
25.
25?
And
I
she
know
was,
75.
And she was how old she was?
15.
How do you know that?
10 years.
10 years. They have 10 years difference. There was 10 years of difference between them. He was 25.
Yeah.
She was 15. How do we know this? Because the Midrash says
90,
they couldn't have
90.
kids for 75 years.
כן. בת 90.
For 75 years they couldn't have kids. So if the Midrash tells us this, means what age they had the kid? Avraham was 100. So it means he married his wife he was 25. So if he was 25 right away. So you see those small references? Afoch ba ve'afoch ba. And it's important. You're going to see soon. I want to show you. We're in the middle. Don't ask any more questions. Haran has Lot, Milka, Iska. Avraham takes Iska. Nahor takes Milka. Avraham adopts Lot as his son. Right? Nahor, Milka, Avraham, Iska. Right? And why is it important to know that? Why is it important? Why couldn't the Torah say just Avraham took Iska, Sarai? That's it. Why it's important to know about Nahor? You know why? Look at the end of the parasha. Not this week's parasha, next week's parasha.
Next week.
Next week. It says, look, atazor achshav. I'll show you inside. I'll show everything I say, I'll show you inside. But let's first listen. When you go to class, first listen to the teacher and then
you ask question.
Rashi says next week, parasha. Avraham is going to have 12 grandchildren, which are Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Issachar, Zevulun. Nahor and Milka are going to have 12 children. Utz, Buz, Kemuel, Kesed, Chazor, Pildash, Idlav, Betuel. Really, is it חשוב לדעת how many kids he had?
כן, אבל... רגע. לאברהם, מה עם הילדים שלך קוראים לו?
יצחק?
לא, של...
יעקב?
של הבן של הגר.
נו, מה אתה צריך לדעת?
ישמעאל. מה, לא היו לו ילדים?
כתוב אותם גם.
נו, איך? 12 זה רק מה שהיה ליעקב.
No, exactly, yeah. That's what I said. You see, don't listen what I said. I said Avraham had 12 grandchildren. Grandchildren. Was the grandchildren?
Grandchildren.
נכדים.
כן.
Nahor had 12 children.
כן, אבל היה לו יותר מ-12, כי גם לישמעאל היו...
Those are not considered as children. The children is Am Israel. Children, כי ביצחק יקרא לך זרע. Your descendants is Yitzchak. Ishmael does not count in this thing. Okay?
אז if they not count,
Yeah?
למה מלאך אדוני הלך להציל אותם?
יפה.
אם they don't count,
When you come in 2 weeks, I'll explain to you. But right now we're dealing with this. In 2 weeks, I'll explain to you. Now listen. Why is it important to know that? So look how things in the Torah, the small details, the detail over here intertwines with this. הכל שרשרת, everything is a chain.
שזור אחד בשני.
Aram died, נכון?
כן.
But why he died? Because he said, I believe in the God of Avraham. But really, he did not believe. But he was willing to believe in God of Avraham if in case God saves him. But God said, listen, I don't need people that believe in me because like this, so you deal with it yourself. Aval sof kol sof, he died because he told everybody, I believe in the God of Avraham. We okay with that? Again, I repeat. He died after telling thousands of people standing there, I believe in the God of Avraham. Just God knows ma'u choshev balev. In his heart, he did not really believe in him. But in his mouth, he did Kiddush Hashem. He said that he believes in God. Right? God said, I have to pay you for that. What I'm going to pay you, you know what I'm going to pay you? All the matriarchs, all the imaot are going to come from you. בוא נראה. First matriarch, who is it? Sarai. Sarah comes from Haran?
Yeah.
Yes. יפה. Second matriarch?
רבקה.
Rivka. Who had Rivka?
לא.
Betuel. What does this say? Utz, Buz, Kemuel, Kesed, Chazor, Pildash, Shitlav, Betuel, ובתואל ילד את רבקה. Rivka is the matriarch? Yes. What does she come from? Haran. Who is the next matriarchs? Rachel ve Leah. Oh, Betuel does not have only Rivka. He has also a boy. What's his name? Lavan. What does Lavan have? Rachel ve Leah. everything comes up to the father, Aran.
אבל כולם היו עקרות.
Okay, זה לא... זה סיפור another story.
אתם תהיו האימהות ותהיו עקרות? איך תהיו האימהות ואתם עקרות?
There's another Rashi for that.
היו עקרות.
Give him...
I don't understand, but isn't there an expression, totally Lishma, Bolishma, if he had his mind the correct way, even though he didn't do it right now, but it will happen.
Okay, so his pay is to have the
It was
matriarchs.
unbelievable.
Exactly.
Also, let him live. I don't understand.
No, because he doesn't really believe in Hashem, but because what he did publicly, saying that he believes in Hashem, which he really didn't, God has to pay him for that. So God said, my biggest reward to you is all the matriarchs, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, are going to come out of you. So it's going to be your merit, Aran. Because you declared publicly, I believe in God. Huh? Kilu, as if. What do you say?
Why Abraham? Why not Shem? Ever?
Avraham comes from Shem.
I know, but
Shem.
Did they believe in one God?
Huh?
Did they believe in
Yes, for sure. For sure. Adam believed in one God. Cain and Abel believed in one God. Enosh, Shet believed in one God, the three first boys. The boy of Shet, Enosh, he started to believe in gods. Right? In the whole generation to come. So everything up to Noah, which believed in one God. Again. From Noah, 10th generation again, idolaters. Who is the 20th generation? Avraham. Avraham believed in one God. Okay, so everything, Adam, Noah, Avraham. They believed in one God. The rest no.
It wasn't because Abraham.
No, Avraham looked for God. Avraham, exactly. But Shem had a lot of other children which didn't believe in God at the end. Shem did not have only Avraham. If you look at Shem, he had like 5-6 children last week's Parachat. And unfortunately, they started not to believe in God. They followed... What?
Shem was alive when Abraham?
Yes, for sure. Ever, Shem had Ever also.
Go to Shem
Huh?
to learn. Why wouldn't Abraham go to Shem to learn? Just like
Because Avraham was 3 years old. And he lived far away from Shem because his father took him away from Shem. Shem was in one place, right? Shem and Ever were in Israel, Canaan. Avraham lived in Iraq.
It was the same time.
Right? Huh? Same time, for sure. Right, same time. Yitzchak learned in the yeshiva of Ever, which is the son of Shem. Right?
So Avraham founded Judaism, so it wasn't Avraham? It was already before him?
For sure. All the first ones believed, Adam believed in God. 10th generation, they don't believe in God. Noah believed in God. God spoke to him. "Otcha ra'iti tzadik bador hazeh." Unfortunately, his children, Ham and Yefet, and their children, and the children of Shem, stopped believing in God. They started believing again in idols. Right? Avraham is again the connecting chain, thing of the chain. He's coming back to God. So basically, Adam knew God, Noah knew God, and Avraham, Shem knew God, and Avraham is coming back to God. Okay, so it's like it's something which comes back. So not everybody believed in God at that time. Everybody believed in Nimrod, in the gods, and everything. Very nice. Okay, we have all this, right? What happened to Terach? Terach, Rasha. Okay. We're going to read in 2 weeks from now a pasuk, a verse, when Avraham Avinu goes to war against the kings and he comes back. Avraham is scared what's going to happen. God is telling the following pasuk. Ve'ata, and you, Avraham, tavo, you will come, el avotecha beshalom. You would come to your father in peace. And she says, what is this promise of God to Avraham? That means that Terach is going to do teshuvah. Why? Why? How could he come to his father in peace if his father died?
If his father?
Died.
Yeah.
And his father, Rasha, Oved Avodah Zarah, where is he going to be? In Gehinnom.
Yeah.
Right? And Avraham, where is he going to be? In Gan Eden. How can the son see his father suffering on the other side? Says God, no. You know what's going to happen, Avraham? Your father is going to do teshuvah. Ve'ata tavo el avotecha. You will go to the same place as your father. Chaz v'shalom, would he go to Gehinnom? No. So to teach you that Terach at the end of time did teshuvah, merited to go to Gan Eden, Avraham Avinu joined him. So it comes out, even him, the big Rasha at the time, Oved Avodah Zarah, willing to give his son Avraham to be killed in fire because he believed in God, right? At the end of the day, he did teshuvah. Tavo el avotecha b'shalom. Okay? But what happened before that? What happened before that? I'm reading to you now a Rashi, I'm reading to you. Last week's parasha, the last Rashi. Last week's parasha, Parashat Noach, finishes off with a pasuk. Vayhi yemei Terach. How long did Terach live? 5 shanim or 200 shana. Terach lived 205 years. Vayamot Terach becharan. Where does Terach die? Where does Terach finish? Haran. Okay? Yafeh. Omer Rashi, 1 second, I don't understand. Says Rashi, you're talking to me about the death of Terach? Okay? 205? Rashi says, I want to make the cheshbon. How old was Terach when he had Avraham? How old was Terach when he had Avraham? Last week's parasha?
הבנתי, זה מה-250 שהוא חזר בתשובה.
Right? 70 years old. Terach has Avraham. Okay, יפה. What age does Hashem reveal to Avraham?
75.
75. How do you know that?
רשום?
שאמרנו מקודם.
Lekh.
לך לך מארצך, שהוא היה בן 75.
Lekh Lekha is
70.
30
100.
No,
plus 20.
100.
75.
100.
Plus 20. If you go to the place you're going to show you, you're going to have 100 extra years to live. What age Avraham died? 175. Right? So if he's telling him, I'm giving you 100 years extra to live, if you listen to me and you go, Lekh Lekha is 100, so he was 75. Okay? And the Torah also says he was 75. So if Avraham Avinu is 75, how much is?
150.
That's when he leaves his father. Let's go of his father, right? So 70?
145.
Fair. You were good at math. I see your teacher was very happy with you then. Tell me something. 205 and 175. Where's the cheshbon? This, you need to complete this. How much you need?
60.
60 years. You're missing 60 years. Where did 60 years go? Wow. Kacha, 60 years where? Listen to Rashi. Says
60
Rashi.
years הוא חזר בתשובה.
No? Says Rashi, if we make the calculation, says Rashi, I'm reading it like I'm translating to you. If we make the calculation, we are missing a lot of years of Terach. So why does the Torah, last week's parasha, finishes off with Terach dying when he's still alive? To teach you, when somebody is wicked, Rasha, Reshaim, Af bechayehem kruim metim. You should know that the Rasha, even when in his lifetime, he's called Rasha. But Rashi says, you know what's the real reason why we say Terach died when we're missing still 60 years? Because Hashem told Avraham, Lekh Lekha.
Huh?
Lekh Lekha, leave your father, leave your house, leave your country. Lekh Lekha me'artzecha u'molatecha u'mibet avicha. Leave your father's house, leave your country, leave your house of your father. The father was 145. How can you leave your father alone? He left his father. Basically, he took Iska. Nachor disappeared. He took Milka. He took Lot. So basically, the mother already passed away. So who is left? Nachor is left. Terach is left alone. Says Rashi, what are people going to say about Avraham? Oh, he started believing God. תראה מה עושה לאבא שלו, look what he does. השאיר אותו לבד זקן, זורק אותו. He left his father old, 145, no children, no grandchildren. He just left in. Torah says, no, I cannot do this to Avraham. So you know what Torah says? Terach died. Terach died. So Terach died. What's up? But the truth is, says Rashi, he didn't die. מה, התורה משקרת? The Torah is lying? Reshaim, wicked people, bechayehem, in their lifetime, kruim metim, they are called, considered dead. So the Torah says he is dead. That's not a lie. He is considered dead. מה זה dead?
אבל רשום שהוא חי 205, איזה
נכון.
מת?
נכון.
זה מה שהוא מסביר.
It's exactly
לא,
what
לא
the
מת.
Torah is trying to tell you. He died when he was 205. So Rashi says, so why you say he died now? Avraham is only 75 now.
אבל הוא לא מת.
To tell you, we consider him now at the age of 145, the Torah considers him dead.
כי הוא רשע.
כי הוא רשע. אתה מבין?
אבל הוא המשיך לחיות.
Yeah, he continued to live 60 more years. But at the end, what did he do? Teshuvah. He did teshuvah at the end.
You see, that's a problem. Because how can you
Everything is a
explain
problem.
it? No, because it doesn't say in the Bible, and then you say Rashi, but you need to explain it to
I
the
want to
young
ask you
generation.
something. Okay, but you think Rashi invents things? You think Rashi ממציא דברים?
I don't think he inventing.
Okay, Chazak.
I don't know if he is inventing or he doesn't inventing.
Ah,
But how do you know that he got proof for all of that?
okay.
כמו
Rashi,
שאומרים, אני נחשב
Rashi
כמת.
does not say anything on his own.
נחשב
Rashi
כמת.
would bring Iga Gemara, Midrash. Rashi always has a source for what he says.
Okay.
Rashi, if Rashi would not have told you that Terach is not dead yet, what would you think? That he's dead. So Rashi is interested to tell you the truth. He is
No, he
still
tell me
alive.
that he lived 205 years.
The Torah tells you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But if you wouldn't pay attention, Lekh-A is when Avraham is 75.
75.
So people just read. Ask people, do you know that Terach is still alive?
No, but that's
Okay,
the problem.
so if Rashi is pointing it out, what does Rashi want to bring out? The truth. He's not inventing.
No, he give me excuse. He doesn't give me the truth. He give me excuse because over here he said, wait a minute, there's a problem over here because the calculation is not right. So I'm going to come over and I'm going to say that he's dead because he is not do tshuva. So this way, okay, move on and don't look at it anymore.
אתה חושב כאילו רש"י המציא את זה
Why do you always think people are against you? I don't know.
Because all the Jewish people, we all do kompinot.
Kompinot.
Everybody do kompinot.
Rashi is emet la'amito shel Torah. You know, Rashi fasted 613 tzomot. Fasts
Yeah.
to be able to comment the Torah. אתה יודע מה זה 613 צומות? הוא צם 613 יום. To be able to comment the Torah. Rashi brings down Midrashim, Zohar, Gemara, whatever you want. Rashi wouldn't say anything on his own. Chaz v'shalom.
But
Why?
you
Because when you
understand-
say things on your own, and somebody disproves you, you can put your own commentary in garbage. Chaz v'shalom.
I'm not saying, one second, I'm not saying, not for me, I'm not going to argue with Rashi. No, there's a lot of things that
Sure,
I'm
you cannot
learning.
argue with Rashi. for
No,
sure.
there's another thing I'm learning, but my questions, or when I'm sitting in, I'm a simple man, I'm a stupid man.
Chaz v'shalom. You're very
I'm
smart.
not that smart, not like you. And I'm sitting with my kids. I'm sitting with my kids, b'shishi, and we talk a little bit about Parachat Hashavua.
יפה.
And I'm trying all the time to bring it to today. And a lot of time, the question that they give me, if I give them answers like this, they will push them away. It will not bring them. Like a lot of time, and I tell you, a lot of time, there's no way to convey this message because this message is.
You know why I was so simple. Because your kids went to public school instead
No,
to go
no,
to Shiva to learn.
But let's-
to know
let's-
the whole
You
thing.
know what? Let's say you're right.
Okay, let's
say,
let me ask you a
but
question.
a lot of the Jewish people go to public.
Let me ask you a question. Does Avraham Avinu
Now you come right away to
did Avraham Avinu had the obligation to respect his father, what's called Kibud Avayim?
Yes.
Think
yes.
so?
No, think better. You don't think good. Again, I'm asking the question. Did Avraham Avinu have the obligation to respect his father?
Yes.
Yes.
Like the Torah is going to say, Kabed et avicha v'imcha. You
You
think that yes?
I think yeah.
I
he had
think
the
that no.
obligation. You think no?
But it
Yeah.
was not Torah.
Because he was Rasha.
No, Chas v'shalom.
He was not Torah.
Chazon Ish says 60 years ago,
Okay.
even if you have a father Rasha, you have to give him more respect.
Okay.
Somebody, his father is not Baal Teshuvah, he's a Rasha, Ochel Bekippur, Ochel Chametz Bepesach, doesn't keep Shabbat. You should respect his father. You should treat his father with much more respect than a regular person.
Okay.
Okay. But why did Avraham Avinu did not have the obligation to respect his father? You know why? I'm not saying this, I saw it written.
Okay.
If a father takes a knife and tried to stab his son, the son was strong enough to escape, took away the knife from his father. Does this son, have an obligation to respect his father?
Because he tried to kill him.
Halacha, no obligation of kibud avayim. If a father tried to kill his son, he has no right to do that. And if he did that, he shows he's not his son.
Okay.
So therefore,
that explanation I can understand.
okay. So let me say, wait, why are you? So now, if the Hashem is telling Avraham, Lekha-A, go away from your father, why? I exempt you. Who is telling him? God. Terach is still alive. He's going to be alive for 60 more years. Says God to him, I said, Kabed et avicha v'itimecha, this father, you don't have to respect him anymore. But, not in a mean way, just get away from him. He's going to stop you from your spiritual escalate.
I believe, in this point, I believe that if God come over to anybody in the world, come over and tell you, go now to Gaza, without the arm, everybody goes. I go. God talked to me, told me, I go. If that's what he told me to do, that's what I do.
Okay.
זה לא נכון.
Okay, so?
מה לא נכון?
הם הלכו, הביא להם את התורה בהר סיני, הלכו אחרי זה ישר עשו את העגל. מה אתם מדברים?
כי הם מפגרים, הם מטומטמים.
הוא דיבר איתם והם ראו אותו.
כן, אבל אתה מדבר על עם ישראל. עם ישראל כל הזמן חושבים שהם יודעים יותר טוב.
Anyways, you understand what's the message?
Yeah, that I understand. I accept it.
If God comes and tells you, don't respect your father, you don't respect. But till he does that, what do you have to do?
Respect your father?
But halacha-wise, today that we got the Torah, and God is not going to come to every individual, do this, do that. Maybe some like you scoot, right?
Come to you tell everybody.
You have no obligation, kibud avayim, when the father tries to kill you. You have a higher obligation of kibud avayim if your father is not on the same level as you, he doesn't believe what you believe, you still have obligation to respect your father.
Okay.
The only time you don't have obligation according to the Torah to respect your father, if your father tells you to do something against the Torah. If your father tells you, the Gemara, I'm saying a Gemara, Mishnana, you are a Kohen, and your father tells you, oh, I see in the cemetery there's $100 bill. Go inside. What do you mean? I'm Kohen like you. Yeah, but I'm your father. Kibud avayim. You have to respect me. What do you have to tell your father? Yeah, I have to respect you, but you have to respect God. So basically, I'm going to respect God.
Yeah, very simple.
This is very simple.
Yeah.
You have an obligation.
God tell you to do something against the Torah.
Exactly.
Even if it's against the Torah.
What? Give me an example. No?
Okay, that is right.
Yafeh. You don't have to come to classes anymore.
I can't believe I was about to ask you about that.
Yes.
Because that's Hashem told
But
him.
Hashem, that was the biggest nisayon for Avraham Avinu. Why?
Why is Hashem testing Avraham?
He's testing him to see how much he's willing to go after him to the point.
Why? The most loyal servant. Why would you test your most loyal servant?
You know why? Because in heavens, Rashi, next week's Rashi, in heavens, the angels asking Hashem, why Avraham in your eyes is so special? There's millions of people on earth. Why is Avraham so special? So God says, even if I'll tell him to take his own son and slaughter him for me, he would be willing to do that. Everybody says, Even the Satan says, I don't believe that. Right? So Hashem says, you want to see? He says, yeah. Vayi achara devarim ha'ele. After those words, and God tested Avraham. Says the Gemara, achara devarim ha'ele. Which words? איזה דברים? מה היה? התורה לא אומרת, the Torah doesn't say what was the discussion. Says the Gemara, the discussion between God and the Satan. Satan says, I don't believe he's going to do that. He says, okay, you want to see?
Why God have to take the Satan words into consideration?
You know why? Because till today, 4,000 years from then, we are still having the merit of Avraham Avinu. זה הזכות הכי גדולה. This is the biggest zchut for the Jewish people, that Avraham was willing to slaughter his son for God. So God says, you know what? This is going to be like the milestone. This is the stone on what the Jewish people is standing on. So Moshe Rabbeinu, when God says, I want to erase this nation, what he says? Zechor leAvraham, leYitzchak, leYaakov. Remember Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, what they did for you, Hashem. You understand? This is something when Am Yisrael is going to be so low, and go against Hashem, Hashem is never going to forget what Avraham did for his son. For him, for his sake. Understand? So God had interest to test Avraham, so it should be a zchut le'am Israel forever, till the end.
כל עקדת יצחק, זה לא היה לבחון רק את אברהם, זה לכל עם ישראל, לעתיד, בדיוק, שידעו לעתיד, זה לא רק הוא, כי הוא ידע שהוא יעשה את זה, הוא אמר לו, הנה, בוא תראה, אבל זה להבא, לכל עם ישראל שהיה שם.
יפה.
Why did he test him again and again? He tested him 10 times.
10 times.
Again. Somebody that your biggest person that comes to your shiur every single time, you're going to give him a hard time? No, it's the best one. Why?
No,
give
because-
him love, give him everything,
Yeah.
give him rewards
But-
in this world and next world.
Yafe, what does the Torah says? How do you know somebody's your best friend? You have to test him. How many tests do you have to do?
7.
3.
7 this.
3.
צדיק 7 פעמים, לא?
No. If you have a good friend and you want to make sure he's your good friend, you have to test him 3 times. Kiso, koso,
Koso,
kaso.
v'kaso.
Kiso. You come to him, Avraham, listen, I need $10,000 for tomorrow. You know he has the money. No, listen, I just had a deal this morning and I'm not sure I'm going to put the money there. He failed. If he comes and he says, yeah, Avraham, Yaakov, yeah, take. Okay, pass the first test. Second test, koso. You sit with him, you take a little bit to drink, ichnas yain, yatsa sod. Somebody drinks, all the secrets come out, right? And all of a sudden he tells you, we're friends, but really you're worth nothing. He starts to spill his beans, as they say. You know exactly what he's thinking, because everything was sod, everything was inside. If he doesn't do that, he passed 2 tests. What's the third? Kaso. Get him nervous. תעצבן אותו. אתה לא שווה שום דבר. You're worth nothing. You get him things that he gets upset. If he stays calm, come on, how can he say, my friend, how can you tell me this? עבר test. A person tests a friend 3 times. God had to test Avraham 10 times. And there's a reason. 10 times is Aseret Sefirot. There is reasons why God tested them 10 times, right? But he had to test them. Why? To show the angels and to show the nations of the world, to say, why is Avraham so special, right? So Hashem says, look, comes to Israel, this week's parasha, I tell him, go, Lekh-A min haaretz hazot, comes to Israel, famine, Ra'av. Wow.
חמות.
Goes to Mitzrayim, they take his wife. Why, Hashem, I believe in you, why take my wife? Okay? Yalla. Comes back to a thing, right? He has to go to 10 nisyonot, right? Why? Because God is trying to see how far is Avraham really believes in Hashem. Some people tell you, yeah, I have emunah. Some people say, yeah, emunah, I believe in God. Just the smallest test. Yeah, why God did it to me? I don't understand. Right away they have questions. But the guy immediately, yeah, I have emunah, I believe in God. Right? Somebody, lo shomer Shabbat. Yeah, I believe in God. You believe in God? One of the first belief in God is that you keep your Shabbat. God tells you to keep Shabbat. If you believe in, why don't you keep Shabbat? Okay? זה אמונה. אתה חושב שאתה מאמין. You think you believe. But אין לך אמונה. Because if you believe in God, what are you scared? You're not going to have business? אז איפה האמונה? What are you scared? You're not going to have fun? Where is the אמונה? So why don't you keep Shabbat? Right? If a guy tells, I have emuna, he goes to eat not kosher. No, in my house, everything is kosher. What do you mean your house is kosher?
No.
So your dishes are going to go to Gan Eden and you're going to go to Gan Eden. What's emuna?
We don't keep Shabbat for selfish reasons.
But there's no selfish. If you believe in God and God tells you to keep Shabbat, you keep Shabbat.
Yeah, but everybody have a degree. I am a low level.
Okay, so you have emunah. You have a little bit of it. So Hashem wants to see how far does he believe 10%, 20%, 30, 40, 10, or 100%? The 10th Nisayon brought him to 100. That's it. He can say now to the nations of the world and to the angels, Avraham believes in me 100%. Understand? אז זה צריך לעבור את כל הטסט האלה. Okay, tonight was a little bit special year. If you come back Thursday, we're going to go a little bit deeper. I just want you to know this. Ask your children, who is the father of Avraham? If they pass the test, who are the brothers of Avraham? Who is the wife of Avraham? Where is she coming from? Right? What happened to the brothers of Avraham? One died, one stayed alive, right? What's the parallel of all this? You ask kids. If you don't learn Rashi, you don't know. But again, this is basic. You know, in Israel, true story. A rabbi comes to Israel. In Israel, he comes to a school, a not religious school, and he asks the principal permission. I want to speak about Torah, a little bit about Torah to the kids. The principal, he says, it's not a religious school. He says, yeah, but give me 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just to explain to the kids. He says, okay, it's not something bad. Okay. So he comes to a class, kids, 9, 10 years old. So the rabbi says, we got the Torah in Har Sinai, and Moshe Rabbeinu. And then he asks, I want to ask you a question. The Luchot got broke, right? Who broke the tablets? All the kids. Lo ani, not me. And they scream, not me. So the teacher says, Ma kara? He says, wait, I'm going to call the principal. He runs to the principal's office, he brings the principal. He says, look what happened. The kids, some of them crying, some of them screaming. The principal, Ma kara? He says, no, because the rabbi asked the question, who broke the tablets? And they said, not me. So the principal says, listen, Rabbi, how much it cost? I pay you for that. I leave the kids alone. In Israel, אתה מאמין דבר כזה? לא יודע מי שבר את הלוחות. Doesn't know who broke the tablets. There's ignorance in the world. But if we know the basic, now we're starting Bereshit. Now, we passed Avraham, we passed Noach. Now we're starting the real story of the Jewish nation. You're sitting down with your kids on Pesach. The first thing you start is this. Mitechila, in the beginning of the Avodah Zara, Ayu Avotenu, beginning with Terach, Hashem chose Avraham, and the whole story of Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, the 12 Shvatim, this is Chuyot. When you do the Amidah every day, says the Rab Ben Ishchai, when he says, Baruch Ata Hashem, Elohenu, Ve'lo Avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Ve'lo Yaakov. You should think in your mind, Hashem, remember that I'm one of their children. We are their children, right? And then you say, Umevi Goel. You know when is Mashiach going to come? Livne benehem. To their grandchildren. Mize bne benehem. Tachshov, Omer Ben Ishchai, al Shvatim. Think about the tribes. You have Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and you have the children, Reuven, Shimon, Levi, right? We are the great-grandchildren. So the great children. So think about not only Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, Yaakov. Think about the Shevatim, and we are asking Hashem to bring the Goel, to bring the Mashiach in merit of our fathers, which are the Shevatim, and our forefathers, which are the Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Everything in our life is the Shevatim, is Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, right? Once we understand their history, once we know where they're coming from, now we are ready. You're going to see so many parts in the Torah. You tell people stories. No one. People say the first thing. No one ever told me that.
He didn't
go to school. You didn't learn. You learn. You're going to see what Avraham did. If people say, "What Avraham did that?" No one ever told me that. Right? When you start learning, you start knowing. So we cannot be ignorant. We have to learn. So B'ezrat Hashem today was the first class. Thursday we continue a little bit deeper into the Parashat.
יותר מזה, למה? הוא יכל להגיד, רבנו,
Yes.
הוא יכל להגיד